No, we didn't know what you wanted. I mean, we have individual contracts with the town engineer for specific projects, like 2010-11 street projects. We have a separate contract with the engineer for the S1 sewer line. And so we do major projects contract by contract. I don't know, someone will have to tell me 10 or 11 years ago, 12 years ago, when the town selected Cheatham as the co-town engineer, then we do basically, he does that town engineering work on as needed basis, like on an hourly basis. So it's pay as you go, pay as you need, pay as we need, and we kind of just manage that as just a kind of ongoing agreement. So that's how we do it. So we do an individual contract for every project. Contract we did for this was done back in probably October, September 2 years ago. We based that on an estimated project construction cost of what the council approved as far as phase 1 and phase 2. And as I remember, we calculated it out. I think we worked about 6.5% for engineering and about 3% for surveying. So it kind of falls in that general engineering range. For design services are going to run you 11 to 13%. You're just out there in the world of civil engineering for municipalities. So
what percentage did you say?
It worked out to be about 6.5% for design and then 3% for surveying. So around 11.5%, which is.
How did we come in on this contract or up with the roads?
That's what it was based. Oh, you mean on the construction contract?
Yeah, on the phase 1 and phase 2, how do those percentages match up to the cost?
The cost of what? I'm not sure.
Engineering, design, and survey.
Well, it's because the contracts were significant, the bids came in significantly under the estimate, which we certainly didn't know what that was going to be at the time of design, because asphalt, or oil was going all over the place, so asphalt prices were all over the place. So it's pretty difficult to know exactly what your costs are going to be, but obviously because the cost of the contract was considerably less, if you apply the engineering services against the cost of the contract, instead of being about 11.5% for engineering services, it could be 20, 25, 30%, because we had a significant savings in the bid prices that we received on the both construction phases.
But shouldn't their pay be based on actual cost?
Well, it costs you the same to design the road, whether it costs $100 or $200, doesn't it?
But you said this cost was based on the overall cost estimates. Right. This fee was based on the overall cost estimates. I just know my builder, it was actual cost that he
Yeah, the town put together estimates. I think Troy did them based on previous projects I've done. And that's what we based the engineering on. It was like 6.5% for engineering and I think 3.5% for surveying, which is like 10%. And, normal engineering fee for design was just engineering would be 10 or 11%. And then the surveying on top of that. But, since we were familiar with the town and had done a lot of work out here, we cut it back to 6.5% for design and 3.5%.
Based on the numbers I'm looking at, we're running about 25% on design and survey.
Well, that sheet has that has the actual construction, the bid prices on there. I said they were significantly under the estimate that we used to design to develop the engineering contract. So yes, that would be a higher percentage because the construction process was less.
The price of the engineering was the same. The scope of the work was the same regardless of that. So it wasn't really based on
materials, just ended up being.
It was just based on how much it was going to cost to do it.
That was also based on the original CIP plan, right? Yes or no? Can't remember. I wasn't here.
What, the original CIP?
The
Like phase 1 back then.